So for this evening, I am practicing for about an hour and a half, and I will be working on the Haydn Sonata in C. Um, I haven't really done much of it. I have kind of done a little over half of the first movement, and I've completed the third movement but at a much slower tempo than what's given, which is Allegro Molto. So today I'm going to work on first starting with the third movement. I'll see how much I get done. My aim of this practice session would be to increase the tempo to some extent. I'm not sure by how much I'll be doing that for today, and also to get in dynamics and articulation markings wherever it's written in. So, the few times I've played it in the past, I think I've been much more focused on getting the notes right. So, it's possible that I might have missed out rests, I might have missed out ties, slurs, things like that. So, I'm going to work on those today as well. Okay. Okay, so I'm starting with a really slow tempo, which is 107. Crotchet equal to 107, which is way slower than what I'll ultimately need to get it at. Allegro should be around 120, and since it's Molto, it's much faster than that as well. Okay, I will work out exactly what the tempo is later, but I do know that 107 is much slower than I'm supposed, much slower than I'm supposed to play it. Maybe even 50%. Okay, after playing the first line, I realized that 107 might be a little too slow because I think I have worked on it at a much higher tempo. So I can go ahead and increase it. The only thing is, I think towards the end of the piece, there are a few jumps which I may not get in the tempo I choose, the faster tempo I choose. So I will have to work on those separately. So I'm going to choose 120 for now. Again, I think I could go faster. So let me try 150. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. This seems like the kind of tempo that I'd like to work on it in. Since I made a mistake in that section, I'm going to repeat it a couple of times just to make sure that I got it. Not only did I make a mistake in the note, I missed an accidental, but I also didn't play forte in the bar following it. So I'm going to retry from a few bars before. Made a mistake again. I should have started off piano, but I started off a lot louder than that. Okay. again. Once more. This time I'm going to keep in mind that I have to play a lot more of the section in piano and then get a crescendo in between. So I noticed that I'm naturally gravitating towards a crescendo that comes earlier, although that's not ideal because that's not what's written in the score. So I'm going to try what's written in the score, and if I really feel like I want a crescendo to start earlier, I will note that down and discuss that with my piano teacher and ask him if it's okay if I change this dynamic marking. Once more, I started the crescendo early, but it was a little less early as compared to the last time. So I'm going to try it a couple of times just to see if I can get it at that spot and how it sounds. It was not bad. It was not bad. The crescendo where it was mentioned into the forte was all right. What I am going to try to do is see if I could try out the first bit piano and then kind of change it to mezzo piano at some point. Because I think I might like that better. Good. That's quite good. I think I like that. Uh, so the real crescendo will come into the forte, and that makes sense because that's quite a steep increase in volume. But at the same time, I'm going to add a mezzo piano before that. So I'm going to try the section once more because I've been making a lot of mistakes, maybe a few more times. exactly with the metronome, but I'm not too fussed about that because it could also be a stylistic choice when I'm not playing it with a metronome. But I am going to play once more with the metronome just to see how off I am and whether that's detrimental to the musicality of the piece. Okay, that was a repetition, so that's helpful because I've already worked on that section. But at the same time, there is a pause, and I feel like I paused a little too long there because I was looking for my next note. So I'm going to repeat that section once more. Okay, so I did realize that I'm pausing on the first beat after every one of these groups, which means I am going to have to rework that. Although in my mind it sounds better to have that da, 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 da. It sounds like the end of a phrase. Uh, but at the same time, since it's very clearly marked that I need to play it slightly detached, I'm going to work on that. Okay, with these groups, I don't know how many I played, I kind of lost the beat there. So I'm going to repeat from a few bars before just to make sure that I'm getting the correct number of repetitions. Okay, seems like that was correct. Let me go again. My fingering there is off. I'm gonna mark it. So at this point, I feel like my fingering could be different. The fingering that I choose might be different from what they've given. They've given 2, 3, and then 1, 4. I think I prefer 2, 4, and 1, 5. I just feel that's giving me a little more space. That's giving me more space to move around, whereas with the previous grouping, which is 2, 3, 1, 4, the thumb kind of is really short as compared to the ring finger. My first finger is shorter than my fourth finger. Most people's is. So that's causing it to sound detached like this. But the pinky and the thumb being almost the same size is kind of helpful in that situation. Now, I do believe that this means semi staccato, but I'm gonna just check to make sure.